Welcome to this podcast, Holistic Creators, where we share our unique and universal stories about shaping the future for the 4 Ps: people, planet, purpose, and profit. My name is Swanette. I'm a mental coach and your host of this show. My intention for this show is to inspire you on your path to a holistic future. So welcome. Welcome to my podcast, Holistic Creators. My name is Swanette and I'm your host. Today, my guest is Anastasia Anselm. Anastasia is uniquely qualified to speak to this dynamic group. She is the owner of 5 businesses to the Caribbean, ranging of a graphic design, commercial cleaning company, a day spa with 2 branches, a barbershop with a spa, and a hydroponic company. And 2 in the US, which are a skin care range and an African t-shirt company. She is currently in the process of becoming a certified coach and also a soon-to-be author. She is a motivator and huge believer that no one should settle for a mediocre life. After transformation in her life, she is committed to support women who wish to transform their lives by showing up and choosing themselves every time. Great. Welcome to my show, Anastasia.
Thank you so much for having me.
So for me, this really sounds amazing. So many different businesses and you are one person. Hopefully you have a great team with you so that you can manage all of that.
I do have quite a dynamic and empowered team. So they seem to make operating so many businesses very easy.
Yeah, let us know a little bit about your story. So how does this all happen that you created your businesses and that you really want to support other women to really find themselves and express themselves with their own businesses and becoming an entrepreneur? I think this is a great story, so please share it for our audience.
Sure, no problem. That's actually a great question. So my journey as an entrepreneur started about 6 years ago. When I left my corporate job, I was managing a hotel at the time, and I was just burnt out. I just needed beyond a break. I also wanted to be able to survive off of my own effort and my own sweat. And I had this calling deep down inside, but at that stage, I just could not identify or understand what the calling was. But I just knew I had to leave my job. And to the surprise of a lot of my family and friends, I left my comfort of a sure salary every month to go out there and make my own money. And so that's how my first business started, which is called Body Bliss. And since then, we have expanded Body Bliss. We currently have 2 locations on the island of Dominica. So not the Dominican Republic, but Dominica, which is also located in the Caribbean. And within a few months, we would actually have a 3rd branch. So my first business was Body Bliss Spa. And from that, I encountered quite a lot of obstacles throughout my entrepreneurial journey, but I actually converted those obstacles into opportunities. And that is how many of my other businesses came about. Like my most recent business would be my hydroponic business, which actually started during the period of COVID. So we were locked down, all of my businesses were shut, or some of my businesses would provide support for other companies. And their doors were also closed to as well. And, we had bills coming in, but no revenue coming in. And so I had this skill of knowing, like I did a course a few years ago in terms of how to build hydroponic systems and exactly what is hydroponic and aquaponic systems. And then I said to myself, hey, this is a skill that I can definitely monetize and make money right now. So I solicited the help of a contractor and we started to make hydroponic and aquaponic systems. And that's how my last business was actually created. And since then, I have been, not since then, but when my mom passed, I actually started a journey to live my dreams and to live each and every single day and just be happy. because with my mom, she would often say that when I get to this stage, then I'll do this, or when this happens, then I'll do that. And so basically, she put living her life on hold, and she did the bare necessity that was needed to get through that current state to be able to survive. For the next. And she passed away at the age of 51, and it was very sudden between the time that she got ill to the time that she passed. It was just a matter of months. So it was very sudden. And I decided to myself that I don't want to live my life the way that I was living it anymore. I truly wanted to go out there and not have my dreams just live on a piece of paper. I wanted each and every single day to be awesome and amazing. But for me to actually do that, it meant that I had to journey and understand myself, understand exactly what my goals were, understand exactly where I want to be in the future. From that whole journey, I then realized that I truly do want to inspire others, because I realized that a lot of persons, it's very common for us, especially women, to speak about a lot of issues, but not about our aspirations, our goals, where it is that we want to be in life. We can speak about children, we can speak about the home, we can speak about curtains, we can speak about cleaning products, but not about the things that keep us up at night. And so, I started to become a bit more open in terms of open and transparent and letting others know about my story, my journey, that it has not been one of an overnight success, but I have been working and working towards achieving and attaining my goals. And so I started to find a lot of women began gravitating towards me. We started to share our stories, encourage one another. And so I realized that, hey, like I really like this. I truly do like inspiring and motivating others to live their best life, to basically live each and every day of their dreams. And so I took another step to become a certified coach, which I'm still in the process of doing. So yeah, so that's how it all started.
Wow, this is so amazing. And I definitely hear this kind of story from other people as well, as they're telling like, okay, I have these big dreams. I would, if I could, I would. And now they're living kind from paycheck to paycheck, and now having the days full with work, and then being tired, just grabbing some food and sitting on the sofa watching TV. So, and inside they feel, yeah, there must be something else. There's something that really would like to come out, but the circumstances are not like that, or I'm not in contact with the right people, I don't have the money, or whatever is holding them back. While this little sound, the little voice is whispering in their head, you have to do something else, you have to change your life. So what was your kind of your first moment that you really realized, I have to leave the corporate world and have to do something for myself that is really inspiring me and fulfilling me? So what was this moment, or what was this kind of voice whispering to you?
So I had, while I was at my corporate job, my last corporate job, I actually started a business. But because my corporate job was so demanding, I had to close that business down. And then I continued working in my corporate job. But what happened was I no longer became as enthusiastic to get up every day and go to work, and it started to show. It started to show in terms of how I interacted with the team members. It started to show in terms of how I interacted with our clients, also too as well in terms of the quality of my work. And I sat down a day on the beach and I said to myself, what am I doing wrong? Like, why am I no longer happy? And so I started to work on different elements in my life. And then I just came to this sudden realization that yes, those elements played a role, but the major part of my unhappiness stemmed from me working in my corporate job. So I had a discussion with you and I said, you know, here's what I truly need to leave. And at that stage, they basically offered me quite a lot to stay. And I said, no, like you don't understand. It's just something that I have to do. I have to leave. At that stage, I had nothing figured out. I did not know what my next step was. I truly could not tell anyone, well, hey, this is my calling. This is the business that I wanted to open. I just knew that I had to leave. And so I left for a bit and I was actually doing like odds and ends, helping different persons out, doing some consultancy work. And it's when an opportunity presented itself, then I said, this is the opportunity that I have to go after.
Hmm. So, but this was, yeah, kind of, I would say, jump into the cold water, like not knowing what will come next. And, but then, okay, you know, like seeing what is showing up is one thing, but how did you figure out really what is that you want to create? But one thing is like, okay, something is showing up, a job is showing up, I take that. But another thing is like, okay, this is really what is inside in me, what I really would like to create. How did you come from this stage to this stage?
So it actually took a while because I would definitely say that me opening up this spa, which was my first business, was not my, I don't want to say passion. I knew I wanted to have a business. And so the opportunity presented itself for me to open up a spa. And so knowing the type of person that I am or being the type of person that I am, I put my all into it. So I actually learned all of the spa services. I quickly got certified. But I would definitely see what I have realized that my passion is motivating and inspiring others, also to as well working with others. So that's why I took this step to become a certified coach. I It took me a while, but I realized that that is something that I am extremely passionate about. So all of my other businesses, they came about because obstacles presented themselves in my life. My spa was open because an opportunity showed up. I had just the right amount of money to purchase the equipment, to purchase the building, to lease the building, and so forth for the spa. The barbershop came about because guys were not happy coming into an all-female environment. The graphic design business came about because I needed I needed a third stream of income or revenue stream. And so I needed something that I could have opened out quickly that would make money almost instantly. And so that's how the graphic design came about. And then in terms of the commercial cleaning, there was just a gap that I needed to fill in the market or that I saw in the market that I wanted to fill. So all of those businesses actually came about because opportunities presented itself or I saw opportunities. But what I am the most passionate about that I've realized. And it has taken me 6 years at this from the start of my entrepreneurial journey to now to realize that it is something that I'm passionate about is coaching.
Yeah, and so you speak about your own life experience while you're coaching also other people, as you have gone through this process, leaving corporate life, creating your own businesses, a variety of different own businesses, and then finding your passion. And this is the next step going for that, being a coach and helping other women or even men, I don't know, both from, I think, to really step into their own passion and figure out what they want to create in this life. So do you think that everybody can do that? That it's possible for everybody?
I definitely think that everyone deserves the opportunity to live their dreams. Your dream may not be the same as my dream. My dream would never be the same as your dream. But definitely everyone deserves the opportunity to live their dream. Now, living your dream is not something that and I speak from experience. Other persons may have had quite an easy journey, But for me, it was not a snap of the fingers and poof, I was suddenly living my dream life. It took time, energy, effort. It took quite a lot of uncomfortable situations, uncomfortable conversations had to be had. I had to have quite a lot of uncomfortable conversations, be that with my spouse, with my family members who just could not understand what are you doing? There is a clear and easy path in front of you. And my background is not that of my family members are entrepreneurs. I didn't have a lot of family members who were entrepreneurs to say, well, okay, I've seen this person go through this journey, so I can then learn from that. For a lot of persons, it's go to university, get a corporate job, make money, buy a home, have children, be happy, be contented. That is life. But I slowly realized that that was not what I wanted to do. I had to take this unclear, uncut path and basically create my own path. And so, it was uncomfortable getting up early mornings, going to bed late nights, um, hearing no's from a lot of persons. I cannot even begin to recall the number of buckets that I have utilized to collect my tears during the last 6 years. Because having persons constantly say, you're not good enough, you are never going to make it. And even battling the voices inside of your head too as well, telling you that, hey, you're not going to make it. So just give up, just find a job, just get a paycheck at the end of the month and everything will be a-okay. Even in terms of my spouse, my husband did not quite understand this journey. He was like, but you went to university, you got your degrees, you can get a 9 to 5 job and you'll be okay. Like, why do you want to hustle to make money when you can just go to work, be comfortable and make money? So I think that any and everyone can achieve it, but you have to understand from the beginning that it is not an easy journey. It means getting out of your comfort zone. It means not being able to go to family gatherings, parties. It means getting up early in the morning, going to bed late at night, having persons constantly put you down because they think that your idea is crazy or that you are foolish for trying to attain this goal. So it is uncomfortable. There is that period of being uncomfortable, but you have to be willing to get through that period to understand, because when you get your calling, it's your calling. You alone understand it. You alone see the vision. You alone know, okay, this is what I want to do. You then have to be responsible enough to convert that calling to do good, to be good, to create or to have an impact on others' lives, whether it is through a product or a service that you are going to offer. You have to convert that calling. And there is that period of just being in a zone where persons don't understand, they don't know what it is that you're going through. So you have to do the work, but it's not easy. Even though I do know some persons who have definitely had overnight success where, we live in the age of technology now. So they baked a cake, they posted on Instagram and that post went viral, and within 5, 6, 7 days of them launching their business, they were a success. So I do know some overnight stories, but many of the persons that I know, it is a struggle. It's a daily struggle, and you have to build yourself up in order for you to survive that struggle or for you to even get through that period of struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. And I totally hear you, as I have been through this journey as well. So I'm educated in medicine and I'm an engineer. So people told me you learn something properly. And then I worked in a business consultancy as a consultant, like, yeah, why don't you leave it like it is? Yeah. So you have been successful and now you're breaking everything down, leaving Germany, going to Madeira. Like, are you crazy? And like a lot of kind of, yeah, mindfuck coming through, like, okay, why are you doing that? No, this is so crazy, starting something totally new. But for me, it was so clear that, yeah, this was all part of my learning, my experiences to come to the next level and to even go deeper into my own calling. And of course, there are always people surrounding us, telling us that it will be difficult, or you don't nobody there, you don't even speak the language, you don't have a business there, how can you survive? All these kind of yeah, ideas they have about their if they would go into the situation. And at the same time, it is really also on building self-confidence and yeah, being sure in what you want to create, to go through and surround yourself with people that will support you. This makes it so much easier if you have someone around you who can understand what you're doing, who already have this kind of experience and can support you when it becomes critical and you don't feel alone being stuck in this kind of situation. So I think this work as a coach is so important to help other people in these moments, supporting them, telling them that it is possible. Perhaps it's sometimes not easy, but yeah, you have to figure out your steps, and then it becomes the next and the next and the next to come to your dream life. Yeah.
True, that is so very true. And also too as well, what I have also noticed too as well is that you need to be able to build yourself up, because a lot of persons are going to try to tear you down. And so once you have that mental strength, that mental stability, you know that this is what you want and you're going to go after it, then definitely you can move mountains. But you have to have that strength within you, because it's a battle within yourself. Apart from the outside forces, you also have those voices inside that tell you, hey, give up, go collect a paycheck, and when you come home, sit down, watch TV, and just relax and enjoy. Why are you stressing yourself out? So definitely you have to solicit the assistance of others who have been through this journey, as well as building yourself up.
Do you have some tips what people who are now watching or listening to this podcast can do to, yeah, become strong inside, to grow up their self-esteem and to overcome this kind of voices that try to hold them back?
So for me, it's a great question. For me, what I personally did, at first I mapped out my goals. So I knew exactly what it is that I wanted to achieve. Also, too, as well, what I have learned is that it's not just about the destination, but it's about the journey. So I have learned to celebrate the small wins. So I break my goals up into smaller goals. And so every time I attain or I achieve a smaller goal, I celebrate that success, because I want to be happy along the journey towards attaining my larger goals in life. And so I've learned that you do need to celebrate the smaller goals. Also too as well, what worked for me definitely was affirmations, because I had to build up my self-esteem, my confidence, because I found that that was not at the level that it should be. Many a times, I would speak negatively about myself. Now, once I start to speak I don't even do it anymore, actually. But no, that's not true. From time to time, I do make statements. Like, oh, no, you can't do that. You're too. And then I just stop myself mid-sentence. No, 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 no. You can do that. You just need to learn how to. Also, too, as well, I have learned that you do not need to be great to start. You just need to start to be great. You also need to understand that you need to replace perfect with unique, relatable. Because if you try to get to that level of perfection, you just might drive yourself crazy. It has been um, going on 4 years since I have been trying to get a business plan perfect so that I can open up a particular business and the business is yet to open. So I have learned that you have to replace perfect with unique, relatable. And then also too as well, just starting right now with what you have, you would work it out along the way, but taking that first step is important, no matter how small that first step is, because small steps matter towards attaining your goals. Once you take that first step, you then realize that, hey, I can do this. Like you build up, you boost your confidence. And so you're then able to say, okay, let me take, instead of one leap, let me take 2 leaps now. And then, you work towards that goal. Also too as well, definitely improving your network. Your friends have a great impact on you as an individual. Many a times we think, oh, well, I just hang out with X, Y, and Z, but I am not her or she is not me. But your friends do influence your decisions. Your friends do influence your choices. And then you can also have friends who either build you up or break you down. Many a times you might say, oh, I want to do X. And your friend would be like, no, you're too stupid to do X. Why are you even considering doing X? You should stick to doing Y. But deep down inside, you have that passion to do X. But because your friend told you you're too stupid, you start to believe it. When you hear things constantly, you start to believe it. So after your friend has said that to you like 5, 6 times, you then realize, oh, well, maybe I am too stupid. So you start to tell yourself that you're too stupid, you can't do it. When deep down inside you are actually capable of executing X. So your friends do have a huge impact in and on your life. So you have to have I have different groups of friends. So I have friends who I share exercise or health related goals with, wellness goals. I have friends who I share entrepreneurial dreams with. I have a group of friends who we share financial goals. I have a group of friends who, I share in terms of building a better family relationship goals. So I do have different groups of friends that I lean towards for different types of support. So it's okay if you have different groups of friends, but you just have to make sure that your friends are within or they have the same or similar mindset. Now, speaking about mindset is very, very important. So whether you solicit the assistance of a coach or you utilize YouTube channels or different resources, but you have to be able to build your mindset up because having a fixed mindset is not going to help you. When you have a mindset of growth, you then see obstacles as opportunities. You see obstacles as means or ways of molding you for the future. Things that are going to only make you stronger or lessons that you learn now, you can then align them to your future. You can then utilize the situations that or the problems that you encounter now, you then can help them to utilize them to help you get out of a situation in the future. But you can only achieve that with a different mindset. If you have a mindset and maybe something happens, let's just say like for COVID, during the period of COVID, a lot of persons were like, oh man, I've lost my job, or I'm not working. Let me just stay at home and watch TV and something will happen for me. Or, every morning you get up, you're frustrated. Oh, it's COVID, I lost my job. I don't know what's going to happen with my life compared to I have friends, and including myself too as well. During the period of COVID, we actually opened our businesses. I have some friends who they were laid off from their jobs. And then during COVID, they started their own business. And right now they are 6, 7 figure revenue businesses. Some persons, they're even on their second or their third business. And so they became entrepreneurs during a pandemic. But the only way that you are going to be able to see those opportunities is if you have that mindset. You can either choose to see the pessimistic view or the optimistic view, but it's all up to your mindset.
Yeah, so many good ideas already. It's about, yeah, figuring out what are the beliefs you have about yourself. And this is often coming already from your childhood, what your family told you, what your friends have told you. So become aware of, what are the beliefs and what are the sentences you speak out, or what are the beliefs you think about yourself. Change this using, for example, affirmations. Changing your mindset, like becoming an entrepreneur in your mindset, focusing on what is possible, what are the chances that you have to create something, and then surround yourself with friends that support you. Even if, yeah, you can have friends that you just go out with, that's totally okay, or you do sports with, but definitely you need some people around you who support you in your business and already have gone through this kind of process and can help you with understanding why you're stuck and inspiring you as well. So this is so important. And yeah, I think I would add also stay healthy, that sometimes we when we become entrepreneurs or we think about doing this, we work so much that we forget about our health. So, and this comes from my own life as well. Like, no, I was so busy that, yeah, I got so overweight, and then, yeah, no, close to burnout. So for me, it was really, okay, if you look into the wheel of life, there are different areas. And of course, when we become an entrepreneur, we focus very much on our business, but don't forget about hobbies, don't forget about your own personal growth, and especially don't forget about health and your family. So I know it's like we have a lot of balls in the air, but often we focus just on one topic, and then we don't go out anymore. We don't meet our family anymore. And yeah, forget about doing some kind of exercises, and yeah, don't cook well or don't eat well. So I think this is also important to have focus on the total wheel of life.
True, that's very true. And what I have also learned as well is that many of my goals are interlocked or intertwined. And so they tend to flow into one another. So like, let's say, for instance, when my financial situation became better, I quickly realized that I was spending quite a lot on takeout. So I was working a lot. I was making money, but I was also spending a lot of that money on food. So what did I do? I said, okay, I'm going to make my meals at home. I looked for 30-minute meals. I also got kitchen equipment and tools and gadgets that can help make cooking simpler for me. And so my meals were healthier. Now, because my meals were healthier, I slowly started to see inches off of my waistline. My waistline started to decrease. Also, too, as well, I was more energetic because the food that I was consuming gave me energy, also helped with mental clarity. So that in itself also impacted my wellness. Because I had more energy to exercise as well, because I was consuming better meals. And then because I was energetic and I felt great, it boosted my confidence, which then meant that I felt more, I was at that stage fierce. And so I can go into a meeting and just beam with confidence. So by fixing my financial difficulties or attaining my financial goal, it then flowed into so many different areas of my life. So you are definitely correct, in terms of wellness too as well.
Yeah. And so for a lot of people, this sounds like, okay, perhaps if it is possible to do that, how can they figure out what is really motivating them? Like what is something that they want to create? If they don't have a vision yet, it's like only feeling, okay, I'm not at the right place anymore in my corporate job. I perhaps can change my mindset and really become an entrepreneur. And so, but I don't know what shall I do? How can you help them figuring out what could be a good choice of them for them?
For them to figure out and change, it depends. Like everyone is different because it depends on the stage that you are in life. It depends on how you view yourself. So I would definitely say first thing would be to take a journey to understand yourself. And that's simple. Just write down. And I love something for me about pen and paper is just absolutely beautiful. Like, yes, there is all of this technology now, and you can write down, you can type out all of your goals and so forth. But for me, writing down your goals, writing down your dreams, one, it means that you have acknowledged that they are your dreams, that you are willing to embrace that this is what you want to accomplish. And then also too as well, when you write things down, for me, I'm able to post it up at different areas of my home. And so when I post it up and it's constantly in my face, I know, okay, yes, I have to get cracking on this. So I would definitely say a journey to understanding yourself. And to understand yourself, you first need to know who you are, where you are right now, and where it is that you want to be in life. No matter how foolish you might think it might be, because I'm sure, let's just say, like, for instance, the first person who invented fire or, like in terms of electricity, I'm sure when they brought these ideas to other persons, they were like, oh, that's a stupid idea. Why would you do that? Like, but see how it has transformed our lives hundreds of years later. So you don't know if your gift, your magic, your talent, whatever you choose to call it, within you can change the future. And so embracing that, acknowledging it, and saying that this is what you want to accomplish is definitely the first step. Now, like we said earlier, not all of us are strong enough or have that support system to accomplish this on our own. So that's where you would solicit the assistance of a coach, or maybe you find someone who um, has been through this entrepreneurial journey before you. So you seek out the assistance of a mentor. But the challenge sometimes with a mentor is that they are also busy trying to lead their own lives. And so, from a coach perspective, that's where, it's a lot better because you actually pay the person to provide you with this insight, these details. But you first have to know where you are, who you are, and where you want to go before you can even solicit the assistance of a coach, because you can hire the assistance of a mindset coach, and mindset is not your problem. Your problem might be more of a financial problem. So, you have to understand exactly where you are right now. But in terms of like what I have done in the past, because I've worked with quite a lot of women informally to assist them. And so our discussions have been, as I mentioned, informal. So we first work on their mindset, because many a times you come to the realization that it is all about your mindset. That is what is holding you back, fighting that battle within, telling yourself you're not good enough, having these limiting beliefs. So we work on the mindset. Then we work on what's their plan for the future. After we've worked on their plan for the future, we then pick out 5 things. We just start with 5 things that they can do right now that is going to get them closer to their goal. And we pick the 5 smallest things or the 5 easiest things. Why? Because when you start off with easier or smaller steps, you then boost your confidence. You say to yourself, hey, but all the time I've been so afraid to take this step. And here it is, I took this step and I'm doing fine. And so you're then able to say, well, okay, let's move on. What's next? What's next on the list? And so you see them come back with that energy, that zeal, that, okay, yes, like I can do this. Like, let's get started. What's next? So I would say that is my process.
Yeah, absolutely true. And you said this example with electricity, and I would give a quote of Henry Ford, who invented the car. And he said, if I would have asked the people, they would have ordered quicker horses. So, don't ask the people about your ideas. Your idea is your idea, and go for that. And for example, for me, it's like I use a vision board. I don't write it down. I use a vision board because I'm very visual. And so I have a collection of pictures that are on a wall or bigger paper, what I want to achieve. So this is very attractive to see in this every day. So it's in my sleeping room. I can see it every day. And it reminds me, okay, this is where how I want to have my life. And already looking now into my present life, it's like a lot of these pictures have become true. Like I'm sitting on a beautiful island. I can spend my lunchtime in the ocean. Like this is already happening because I was focusing on what I want to achieve and not what I want to leave behind, but looking into focusing onto what is it that I want to achieve, and write it down, use a vision board or any other tool that helps you every day to remember what is motivating you, where you want to go. And of course, then, yeah, doing these little steps, like what is possible now, what is like the most little thing you can do to get this feeling of, okay, this is already a success. Celebrate it, no? And then the next step and next step. And you will see after a while, all these little steps were already a milestone.
Correct.
Yeah, and you are making progress. You're on your journey to create what you really want to create. So this is really powerful. Yeah. So I'm sure people are now inspired and feel like, okay, perhaps there's a possibility that I can make my dream life come true as well. So how can people reach out to you? Do you have a website or social media? How can they come in contact with you?
Sure. Okay. So I do have a website. My website is, of course, www.Anastasia Anselm. So that's Anastasia, Anastasia. And my last name is ANSELM.com. I also have a Facebook group called Authentically Speaking on Facebook. So it's Authentically Speaking by Anastasia Anselm, where we are very transparent about our struggles. We are very transparent about our wins, because you never know. Your story might just be someone else's survival guide. It might just be that boost that someone needs to pivot in their life. And so we are very open. We share our struggles, we share our wins, and so that others can also learn from it too as well. So you can reach me on Facebook, Authentically Speaking by Anastasia Anselm, or you can reach me via my website, which is anastasiaanselm.com, or you can send me an email. So it's actclare@gmail.com.
Okay, Thank you so much. I will post all the links in the description, in the show notes, and so that people can reach out to you very easy. So last but not least, is there anything that you would like to share that I didn't ask you?
I would say we touched on it briefly, but I would definitely say, just as words of encouragement to anyone that is listening, start right now with what you have. When I started my first business, I was able to have enough money to purchase the equipment. I worked for quite a few weeks to try to get the product to a position that I was happy with, to get the service. And then I quickly realized that I need to get it out there. And so when I got it out there, I was then able to tweak as different persons came in. I figured out I of course knew who my niche market was, which was important, but I was able to tweak my product, tweak my service as it went along. Many a times we strive or we try to strive for perfection, which is not bad in some cases, but in many cases, it can actually hold us back. What is key is that you start right now with what you have, and then you can build on it. You don't need $5 million investment in order to start your business. You can start small. You can monetize your skills that you currently have. And whether it is saving to go to university or you want to attain this goal or this dream, just break it down. All goals, you can break it down into simple steps. So just start with what you have right now, and then you would see once you've taken that first step, your life is going to blossom from then on out.
Yeah, wow, this is so powerful. So start creating your life with what you have now. Thank you so much for being my guest.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes,
It was an absolute pleasure.
speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening or watching my podcast, Holistic Creators. If you want to know more about how I can help and support you, have a look at my website, spiritualchangemaker.com. You can also join my Facebook group, Spiritual Changemakers Community. Stay tuned for the next episode by subscribing to this channel. And you also can check the previous episodes.